Hey, Daredevil fans, I hope you're ready to spend 45 to 60 minutes in heaven with us here at the Daredevil AFTERBUZZ TV After Show. We're talking about episodes 9 and 10, 7 Minutes in Heaven, and Man in the Box. I'm so excited for these episodes. We'll be right back.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, welcome back to AfterBuzz TV's Daredevil After Show. I'm your host, Zach Wilson, and I could not be more excited. I am hopped up on a lot of caffeine right now. These episodes are amazing. You guys can follow me throughout the week, throughout the show, at that Zach Wilson on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all the places. I've got, on the other side of the table, Jesse Klein.
Hi everyone, how's it going? I'm Jesse Klein. Vanessa. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JessKlein1. That's JessKlein, the number 1.
You're Jesse Klein Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Is that your new last name?
Vanessa. Is she taken care of?
Oh my god.
I feel like somebody challenged you to the button thing like a week ago, and you're just like, you know
This is my
what?
thing. Is like, this is how I grew up wearing shirts. I've never been a top button guy.
All right.
I'm always one down.
Yeah.
He's like 5 down.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I feel like you're like, I'm a button down man.
There's just
You're
one
like
button.
3 down.
Here's it.
No.
No.
Yeah,
Don't let me talk you out of it.
I'm just saying it's one button.
Well, thank you, Jesse Klein. And the lovely Jamie Elias
Hello.
is back.
How's it going?
We missed you last week, Jamie.
I missed
did.
you guys so much.
And this week we are missing, unfortunately, Mark Donica. You can follow him on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. This week, the B stands for Sad Mark Donica. Don't think about it too hard. Mark couldn't be here tonight. He's still getting some stuff together after WrestleMania from last week.
Yeah, he was in Dallas all weekend, so he's got to recover.
And God knows these episodes do not help you recover from anything.
No.
Oh my God, you guys.
I just watched him. My mind is like,
Kingpin.
processing.
Like, if I can say one main thing about these two episodes, and again, we're talking about episodes 9 and 10, so if you're joining us live in the chat or you're watching later and commenting on YouTube, please make sure to keep any spoilers for episodes 11, 12, 13 out of the chat, not just for us, because we are watching slowly to help keep our predictions as predicting as they can be, but also for any other fans who are watching this at their own pace and haven't finished the season yet.
for sure.
Yeah.
All you binge watchers, we love you, but just wait till we
out.
do those episodes.
Chill out with your dang
and you guys have been
comments.
good about it. It's just a reminder. But if I can say anything about these two episodes that is so good, it's that Kingpin's involvement makes me remember how awesome season 1 was. Almost to the point where it like overshadows the beginning, the first 8 episodes of this season.
Vincent D'Onofrio kills the game. He's so good. And I feel like 7 Minutes in Heaven was specifically because the first 7 minutes of this episode was pure heaven, because it was just all freaking Wilson Fisk. I was super into it.
It's exactly what I wanted. Like, when we were talking before the show started and we were making predictions, like, I was talking about, I want to see Fisk be the Kingpin from inside prison. Like, I want to see him, like, manipulating things outside and then, like, take over the prison, because he's so good at just, like, gathering power and gathering people, and, like, seeing him kind of rise to power in prison was so cool.
It was just pure TV drama at its finest.
It's
Like,
just, it's just brutal.
like, that's the thing, is like this season, like, just today, if you missed it earlier today, I interviewed John Paisano, the composer of both season 1 and season 2, and before the interview he asked me which season am I liking more, and I haven't finished season 2, so like my answer is a little bit colored by that, but I had to say, after thinking about it for a few minutes, season 1, because Fisk was just as much the central character that I'm not rooting for him, but I fell in love with his character because he was
100%.
so much fun to watch and so fascinating to watch. And now season 2, having him back in there, just twisting the knife that the Punisher drove in. It makes this so much stronger.
Yeah, and I feel like season 2 too, they've given us a lot to work with, right? So like we're learning, and there are a lot of really cool characters in season 2, but season 1 we got to know Wilson Fisk like as much as we knew the Daredevil.
And it was so patient as well. Like in season 1, the introduction of Wilson, like Fisk didn't even seem like a bad guy until like 3 episodes after we'd met him. And like I like season 2. Season 2 is a good season of television.
Oh yeah. I don't mean to say it's bad in
it's
any
amazing.
way.
It's
great.
freaking fantastic.
But season 1 was just like it was meaty. It was satisfying.
Yeah.
Like after I watched these 2 episodes, I went back and watched a couple like highlights from season 1 just because I needed more Fisk, and like I forgot how much, like just how brutal. Like I love when he just turns on a dime and becomes just this brutal monster. Like it's so satisfying to see someone who's so composed but has that fire right underneath them, like let it go like that. It's I mean, D'Onofrio's just murdering it.
Yeah, he's amazing.
We can fawn all night,
Oh,
but
I will fawn.
let's get into to Fisk's storyline in these
Baby
episodes, because like what we got basically, we went back to the end of season 1, where we picked up where we left off of him being brought to jail.
Yeah.
And at first the guards are like, "Yeah, you." Prick, like one of them hits him on the back of the head.
I saw that. I was like, he's gonna kill him.
Well, it's just like he's like poking a bear,
And we see him take off the cufflinks. Like that's
yeah.
Yeah, that was
that's
heavy.
a big deal.
That was super heavy.
But
But it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool to see that because I feel like that tied up some loose ends. Because this whole season, we've gotten Punisher, we've gotten Elektra, we've gotten Stick, we've gotten the Hand. And I was
Yeah.
like, what the frick, man? We kind of left Wilson Fisk like in jail, and we just kind of forgot about him. So when I saw the first like 5 or 7 minutes of this episode or whatever, it was just really nice to tie up some loose ends.
Yeah.
yeah. It's not only just, it doesn't even tie up a loose end. It shows us the next step, and now we get to see what, like, that's what's great about this, is it's tying what we were getting this season and what we got last season all together.
Well, I mean, I just like the subtle things to the character where like he's walking around prison with all of those notes that he has, like just on who each prisoner is, like all those yellow pieces of paper. He's just got like notes on everyone's backstory and who everyone is, and like so he can manipulate them and like make them part of his crew. And like I don't know, just like seeing like you can't put that guy in jail and have him not rule that jail by the time he's done with it. Like
I mean, when he goes in, like he's instantly like threatened by the inmate Dutton.
Yeah, poor choice, Dutton. Get your
Well,
shit
I mean,
together.
I guess like he even like says like, "I'm the kingpin in here,"
Which was awesome.
yeah.
And then but Fisk's like, "No."
Actually,
He
but
says like I know guys like you, and you've never seen a throne you didn't want to sit on.
Yeah.
Which is like, yeah, that's true. Like,
And like, do you think that Fisk, up until that point, was legitimately going to try to lay low?
no.
I think Fisk's persona is always, I'm gonna do the right thing. I don't belong in here. I'm a good guy. Why am I in prison? Do you know what I mean? But like his core, like the essence of who he is this bad man. Like he's a bad man. I mean, like honestly, if you guys, all the stuff that went down in season 1, yes, on the surface he thinks he's doing like all these good things, and I think he went into jail like I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna find Vanessa and take back New York. But I think he's just a bad dude.
Well, because there's 2 ways that he could go. He could perceive this is like he gets in there and he could still be manipulating things on the outside from prison, but quietly, like in terms of the prison he's just like another inmate, but he has his lawyer coming in and he like slowly does things that way. Or do you think did he have this whole thing planned out that he was going to get into prison and take over the place?
I think the Kingpin's superpower is that he's ravenous for power. Like that he's never satisfied, and that no matter where he is, he's going to become, like if we see like Kingpin become a good guy and he's like part of a school board, Like, by the end of the season, he is the president of that school board, and everyone is serving him, and like so that he gets the correct art projects out there. Like, it's like, it doesn't matter what situation he's in, he needs that power. Like, we saw with his dad, like, telling him, like, you've got to be the guy in charge.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the guy who's doing the thing. You want to be the guy telling people to do that. And
You're gonna make my choice of cupcake.
exactly. Like, it doesn't matter. He's got to be that guy. And I think, so you put him in a prison, of course there's going to be, like, someone who's going to be like, hey, I'm the king of this prison. But it doesn't matter. Like, even if there wasn't, he would just fill that vacuum no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he's good at it. Like, I mean, the thing is, like, he is an imposing figure, but he's also incredibly, like, so he has that prison, like, you don't mess with this person. Like, you're not gonna go up to Wilson Fisk, this guy just made out of pure muscle.
Anger. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, his body is built out of nothing but anger and muscle.
Wilson Fisk once punched a tree and it turned into books.
I don't even know what
so
that means.
angry. It
but
just turned into books, and all the words on the books were just "ha," and that's it.
Well, there was one collection of just Vanessa,
Yeah, sure.
over and over and over again. But he, like, so he's not gonna nobody's gonna fight him.
No.
And so he has that going for him. But then he just, like, he found, like, he sat down at his table, and he waited. He waited patiently. Like, that's the scary thing. It's like he didn't, like, seek anybody out. He waited until the opportunity came right up to him.
Smart man.
Yeah, and the Valdez brothers, they're not in Marvel, but Fisk did have the Lobos brothers, who are, like, his two kind of, like, enforcers, and they turn into werewolves. So that might be a little bit of a...
Can always count on Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably, like, using them to stand in for those roles without being the werewolves. Not even that they would, like, avoid having those people, but more of, like, we're gonna save those people.
We're not gonna have werewolves in prison. Why not, Marvel?
Well, no,
Why
that's
not werewolves in prison?
That's what I mean is, like, rather than, because they could have easily just made them the Lobos brothers and not made them werewolves, but, like, I feel like Marvel is constantly like,
but what if we need them?
Like, we could, like, they're constantly waking up like, guys, I think we could get away with that.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't think, like, and I'll get into this a little bit more when we get to Karen. Well, I'll just say that now, like, one of the things that I noticed, and we'll get into it deeper later in the episodes, like, Karen Page in these episodes is really filling what should be Ben Urich's role.
Well, I mean, literally.
I'm into it.
Literally and figuratively. Yeah. Like, literally in the show, but I mean, like, also from a writing perspective. They're giving her what easily should have just been what Ben Urich was up to.
I kind of love that they did that, though.
It's good in terms of, like, what they're doing on the show, but, like, had Ben just not died, had they not killed the iconic journalist of Marvel Comics, they would have had him in this role, or him and Karen again.
Yeah, I think it just solves the messy issue of, like, what do you do with Karen?
Thank you. Like, I totally, like, I think that, guys, you guys know how I feel about Karen, but I seriously, now I kind of do, though. I think that's why they did this.
Yeah.
Because after these 2 episodes, I'm like, okay, Karen. I see you. I see what you're doing.
I only bring it up here because we will talk about Karen at a little bit more length later. I bring it up here because of the basically just the, like, the whole point of, like, I don't think they thought when they were writing season 1 that they were gonna get a season 2.
No,
I think they thought, okay, we're gonna do Daredevil, and then the next time Daredevil is gonna show up is going to be the Defenders, and that'll be it. Maybe after that we'll do some more, but, like, that'll be the next time we see this. So they were just, like, spending characters because they thought this is it.
Yeah.
Cut to, we got a season 2 of not only that, but Jessica Jones, and, like, God only knows how many other seasons of this is going to be around, and so they're sort of having to rebuild stuff and, like, figure out, like, we can go to all these places. We can go nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Marvel is learning more and more that they're allowed to do comic booky things. Like, unlike other franchises, they're willing to basically do exactly what the comic books say.
They're willing to put their comics on the screen,
Yeah.
bend them where they need to, so they keep things surprising.
But
like the blacksmith,
sure,
just as the Kingpin gets comfortable in prison, and he like establishes himself and all of that, we introduce a new thing for him to play with,
a new player,
to prison.
Yeah.
Being the Punisher.
Yeah.
Everything, like all of this stuff was just it's like he's established now, but he still has to get Dutton. Dutton's the piece in his way from truly taking over the prison.
Yeah.
And he plays it like a freaking fiddle.
Yeah, I mean, the lengths that he went to get Dutton is he brought a guy into prison to kill another guy already in prison and then let that guy leave prison. Like, he went so far out of his way to get this guy and then ate a delicious meal while that guy's lungs filled with blood. Which was maybe my favorite scene in the entire series.
The steak scene? Or?
Yeah, well,
That just showed, like, his true nature.
Yeah, just as like, he still has this kind of sense of honor, but he's also like he's gloating in front of a guy whose lungs are filling with blood. Like, dude, you won. Like, this guy is not gonna be like, you don't have to
100%.
prove anything to this guy. Like, he's a dead guy. His opinion doesn't matter anymore. But like, it's crazy to see these two go at it, like the Punisher and the Kingpin. I love how the Kingpin fights like a toddler. Like, he just throws haymakers and that's it. He just throws like huge punches and like just grabs the Punisher and is like, no, listen to me. And like
he's a little kid.
Yeah, like it's great to see that. It's great to see that he's just been pumping iron while he's been in prison as well, just bulking up.
That insane amount of weight. Like, we got a better look at it this year. And
Guys, there were
like
5 plates on each side, which each
those
plate
would be like 50-pound weights,
25?
right? Or 20, let's say 25. Let's be conservative
so 25,
here.
100, 200, the bar is 45, 245.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. That's like, it's a lot of weight.
It's a good amount
I
of
mean,
weight.
that's like we said, pure muscle and anger.
Yeah.
Just rolled into the tight sushi roll of a man.
That's all.
I don't know what that meant.
I don't know.
Like,
It was beautiful, though.
Very poetic.
And like seeing like him manipulate Frank, like we got this. We got this amazing fight scene. Like, seeing Frank take on.
Do you think he was manipulated, though? Sorry to interrupt you. Do you think he's just so taken by like revenge and like getting justice that like he's can be talked into things? Because as soon as he throws out like revenge or justice, I don't think it's manipulation. I think the Punisher knows exactly what Kingpin's doing. Like, he's a really smart guy, but he just is taken by like, I need to find justice for my family.
Well, I mean, I think by knowing that the Punisher is taken by needing justice for his family, he's being manipulated through that. Like,
I don't
through
know,
that,
man.
Through that lens, he gets the Punisher to kill all of his enemies for him.
But the Punisher knows why he's doing it.
Yeah, but
he's not like he's not doing it blindly. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what I mean. He's not doing it like, oh, if I do this, I'll get revenge. He's doing it like, Fisk is using me. This is bullshit. But by the end of it, I'll get revenge.
But it's
that's
like,
still a level of manipulation. Like, he's getting like all of Fisk's enemies don't exist anymore in the prison. He got rid of Dutton and all of the guys loyal to Dutton.
I
Jimmy,
don't think the Punisher's a fool. I don't think he's playing the Punisher. I think the Punisher knows what's going on.
I think they're effectively doing it together. Like, I think that like Fisk is manipulating the Punisher, but Fisk is manipulating Frank, but Frank is fully aware of what Fisk is doing, and like he's in his own way using Fisk to his own ends.
That's
anyway.
what I mean. 100%.
He got the Punisher to go to prison. And sabotage his entire trial.
This is
an interesting
not
point,
justice
though,
for murder,
because
for justice for his family is like the reason why he.
But here's my question: is how did Frank know to go along with that. All he got, from as far as we could tell, all he got was a cop saying, "Do the right do the right thing, Frank."
I assume off screen, like someone got to Frank, like either it's that cop or someone else got to Frank
and
was
explained
like,
if you go to prison,
Isn't
it's
that
still
what Fisk
fine.
spent the money on? Didn't Fisk say, I only need this money for this specific cop? And wasn't he referencing the cop that was going to talk to Punisher?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point.
It's
Then he talked to him off
like,
screen.
Yeah.
They do specifically like build up and then point out like this is how that all went down, which I appreciate because sometimes like that I think specifically needed to fill in the blank.
Yeah, 100%.
It was helpful. But yeah, okay. So we got to talk about hallway fight scene number like 8.
Punisher version.
I love the blood Punisher symbol on his chest. He had a red skull instead of the white skull on his chest.
So good.
Just covered in blood. The guy's a monster. Like, he killed like 14 people.
It's cool how it like juxtaposes the fight Daredevil had.
Yeah.
Like, because it's the same concept, right?
Yeah.
But just like he shed no blood and like nobody died. Well,
Yeah.
there's blood, but nobody died when Matt did it. But when he did it, it's brutal. He was killing people with like broomstick handles and there's blood everywhere. And
Did you count how many eyes he got gouged out,
No,
Jamie?
I didn't.
Because there were
I
a
saw
lot of
one.
eyes.
I saw one. Good
I didn't
one.
even think to count. I was
saw
so just
one good one.
engrossed in the scene.
I know there was at least 2 because he just like did that to a guy.
So gross. It was so good. If Punisher doesn't have his own show, I quit Netflix.
You hear that,
Hands
Netflix?
down, I quit it.
Get Punisher a show.
We need
That's
him.
$9, Netflix. You better be
It's
listening.
gonna leave.
They've got my money. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they do have mine as well.
Regardless, they've got it.
No, man, I'm out.
They just released the Animaniacs. I gotta watch all of their seasons. I mean,
Oh my god.
So good.
They what? All right, not for this point of time. But yeah, I mean,
and
look,
then he walks out in riot gear.
yeah, I mean, Fisk decides like he was trying to get the Punisher killed. He was trying to get Frank just like he got him to kill Dutton.
Yeah.
Task's done. Get him killed.
Yeah. Didn't work.
Not only didn't work, but like then why not? So at this point, if Fisk has control of the entire prison, why not just have a guard do it? Like kill him in his sleep. Like there's any number of ways that you could kill a prisoner, even one who can fight back.
I think Fisk is still manipulating Frank. Like I think Frank is now out he wanted Frank to leave.
So let's jump ahead then, because once he's out, we get into this because the whole city's freaked.
Yeah.
Because Frank's on the loose. Reyes especially, like we actually see Reyes break
And asking for help.
Asking for help. Like all of our theories basically confirmed. Prediction win for ABTV Daredevil.
Yeah, for sure. I was really bummed because someone accused me of watching ahead and just
is this the thing?
And completely spoiled this entire thing for me. Like I was so upset because I was like excited about our prediction and like wanted to see it, and like this entire thing got spoiled for me. But it's but the turn of it being a cop that was there, and like the disappearing body that they had to like ask the medical person for, like I didn't see that coming. Like that's pretty, like that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Like of course there was a cop there. That's why all of it disappeared, because we were like, oh, it was probably like a mafia person mic'd up. But it didn't make any sense why they had to disappear everything, and it's because it was an undercover police officer.
And like the big thing was that she didn't evacuate the park.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the thing. If you have 3 big gangs, 3 violent, dangerous gangs that you are intentionally putting together, you're basically lighting a stick of dynamite. You got to get civilians out of there.
Yeah.
I would think especially get them away from the carousel.
Thank you. Like, why you gotta do a drug deal by a carousel? Can't you do it by a tree? Like in the middle of the park? Like, yo, what the heck?
Why do you have to do
I want to
a
know.
carousel?
I want to see that conversation between the gangs. We got this drug deal going down with the blacksmith. We're all meeting by the carousel.
I like the ponies, and I like the horses, and I like the fishes. I want to, after the drug deal, dibs on the red horse.
Yeah, you beat me to it because I was like, the Irish, okay, I'll meet you there. But only if I can ride the dolphin.
Perfect Irish accent.
Oh yeah, I don't know. That was all. I had it for like one word,
There was like
and
a
then
second.
I was into it. I thought it was good.
the Irish, they like to ride the dolphins.
Closer. That's a
That is
Northie.
good.
That's a bit of a Northie accent.
I'm doing better. Yeah, it got called Gangster Zach. Well, you won't talk gangster? I'll do gangster for you. You'll go Brooklyn. All right.
Okay,
We don't have time.
Let's
We don't
go
have
on.
time.
So Reyes screwed up a deal, and they're
And she's been covering it up.
and she's just been she's been disappearing it.
And I like that she's human because we
got
in one
the
of
daughter
our
thing, yeah.
in one of our episodes we talked about how maybe she was going to be like the antagonist, like she was going to be a major antagonist, and she was like in a sense that in the Frank Castle trial, and that she was covering everything up. But at the end of it, like we saw, she's just dumb. Like Fisk wasn't controlling, well, not that we know of yet, but Fisk didn't control her actions. Like she just made bad decisions. She made judgment calls that weren't right. They were selfish, and like at the end of it, she's like, I don't care about my job. Like it's my daughter that I'm worried about.
Yeah.
And then she gets blown the frick up.
We see her in a sweatshirt, like we see,
Exactly.
like she's been eating ice cream.
She's like, this is so sad.
She is really upset.
100%.
I mean, she's been like basically, like, I imagine, just like sleeping in her office.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Terrified.
But standing in front of a window, which is a bad idea if you think a sniper is trying to get
You
you.
make a valid point.
I mean, the blinds were closed.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Well, I think the idea is
When you've got an elite killer like Frank Castle, who we've seen shoot through a wall before,
gosh.
I don't think blinds are gonna help.
hell?
no,
Or
but like
killing everybody.
like if he doesn't know that she's in there, like like the hope is that like he doesn't want to tip his hand by shooting through the window.
Valid point.
Like and miss her because
Valid
then she
point.
goes into lockdown.
And we think,
Did you? I just want to ask, like, during this scene, did you guys think it was Frank?
no.
I'll be honest. I know I'm a sucker. I thought it was.
I just thought there'd be like a dramatic like scene between them where he'd be like, "What the?" and she'd be like, "No," and then he'd kill her.
Yeah.
You know
I mean,
what
the surprise I thought was so powerful.
It was.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
true.
if it was Frank who was gonna kill her, there would have to be pathos. Like he would have to confront, like Jamie said, like he would have to confront her and be like, my child and wife died because of your greed and because of like your need for power.
Yeah.
Like there'd be no pathos if he was just like a mile away with a sniper rifle. Like
There would and there wouldn't be. It would depend on where they went with it. Like that's the thing. It's like my mind started going like, okay, Frank's off the deep end. Like he's gone. Like getting out of jail. Like finding out about all this. Like he just is like this. These people
Living.
like set me up. They've been covering all stuff this whole time.
It's true.
Like as he learned more about the details, he's just. She went from like somebody who like caused a problem to somebody who like actively covered up his family's murder.
Yeah.
And like I thought that might have just sent him over the edge into insanity. And like part of it was that moment. This is how powerful that moment was. Like
Yeah.
in the 30 seconds before that scene, my phone just like randomly decided to go nuts with like, I think I got a text from you
Yep.
while I was like just about other stuff, like dealing with other stuff here.
Sure.
I got an email from like a random friendly email, but an email from like an ex.
Nice.
And like all of this stuff literally just like bing, bing, bing. And then like splattered all over the desk of Reyes'
like,
office.
so who's the
and your
shooter?
phone or rewind
What?
it.
So who's the shooter?
Yeah.
The
Freaking blacksmith?
blacksmith.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
they
that
have
it was like the
blacksmith?
implications. Well, there's two options here, as I see it. There's the blacksmith, this mysterious character who has no. The blacksmith has no.
Charlie in the chat, Barajas says it was a bullseye.
Oh, three options then.
Okay.
Because like I guess the blacksmith could be bullseye. That seems a weird
Yeah.
name for that character. But it could be whoever the blacksmith was.
Mm-hmm.
It could be bullseye. or could be Fisk manipulating,
he's setting him
or
up.
Fisk and Bullseye together. Like,
But what is?
Or it
but
could
what
be
is
Heisenberg with the gun in the back of the truck.
What is Fisk? That's what I went to. I went to Bullseye first, and then I went to Fisk. But then I thought about it. What does Fisk gain? What does he gain? Because he's already been. So say he wants him to be caught, right? Or that he wants to paint him a murderer again. He's already been convicted, man. He's already been sent to jail. Like, once he gets caught, you know. Like, that's what I thought too. I just didn't know why.
Well, I mean, I think Fisk definitely wants to have the Punisher out and about, because the Punisher's just killing all of the other gangs in Hell's Kitchen, which is just setting it up great for Fisk to come back into power.
Oh, so you mean like a threat? Like have this person posing as him as a threat?
Well,
Fisk wants him dead.
I think Fisk says he wants him dead, but I don't think Fisk actually wants him dead. I think Fisk is better off being in prison and having the Punisher kill all of his competition than having the Punisher dead and his competition gaining power.
I think he, like, when I say dead, I think he wants to use the Punisher's reputation to, like, basically carry out all of these hits that he couldn't just, like, have out there because they're too high profile.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But then, like, once that happens, dead.
Yeah.
It's probably the same because, like, at first when the Punisher walked out, I'm like, well, what the frick? Why didn't Fisk do that? But it's because he wants to live in New York. And, like, he can't escape and be in New York and have, like, nobody find him. People are going to know when somebody that high profile escapes. So maybe you guys are, like, absolutely right. Maybe he's setting everything up to where when he does finally get released at the end of this season, like, who knows with how fast things are going, but that things are kind of, like, cleared the way besides, you know, the hand and the huge hole and the demon.
Yeah.
Let's talk real quick about the blacksmith, because there is no analogy that I can find. My first thought, as soon as when I heard the name blacksmith, was Melvin.
Okay. Yeah.
Potter.
Yeah,
only because he is an actual blacksmith.
He's an armorer. Yeah.
Like, he's a modern day blacksmith. I don't think that character would be up to all this, but you never know.
My first thought was the Black Knight who has a cursed sword and lives in London. So I don't think it's that guy.
They did give him a solo book recently.
They did.
Sort of inexplicably. They're like, here's a Black Knight solo.
Well, it's like their new Weird World, like, launch kind of thing.
But they canceled that one pretty quick.
I don't think it's... there's no way it's the Black Knight, as much as I wish it was. But
I think we basically are just going to be waiting and seeing on this one.
I think it's got to be someone we've already... Like, it's so late in the game to introduce another antagonist. Like, it's got to be... it's got to be... Just, like, from a storytelling standpoint, like, it's got to be someone we've already seen.
Could they be setting it up for next season, though?
I guess they could set it up... Like, he could be the main antagonist for next season.
That's real risky. And, like...
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, like, setting up for season 3...
like, maybe it's Reyes's assistant, like...
Well, because he's black?
Oh, I didn't even put that together. No, I'm just thinking of people who would benefit from Reyes being dead and would also benefit from making it look like the Punisher would do it.
But the thing is, that guy was in the... You think he set it up, you mean? Because he was in the room.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is like if the Punisher is like this manipulator, then... or like if the blacksmith is this manipulator, then it could be like he's setting this kind of up.
Yeah, it could. So blacksmith may not stand for like somebody who works with metal, but somebody who builds, somebody who crafts.
Yeah.
And crafting anything from drugs to just crafting deals. Like,
it
could
just
be
like,
how that starts.
It could just be like they thought it was a cool name.
That would be really funny.
I mean, Gladiator, he doesn't fight in an arena.
Yeah.
He's just a fighter.
Yeah, he doesn't gladiate necessarily. I don't know. But like speaking of things like for season 3, let's talk about the hand. Because we get so much building for the hand in these episodes.
Yeah, man.
What is in that hole?
Okay, I have a thought.
What's in the hole?
I have a thought on the hole when we get to it.
Okay.
But we got like Nobu. Nobu's back. Like, okay, prediction confirmed, but they basically gave it to us in the trailer.
Yeah.
So Nobu's back.
Yes,
I thought you were dead.
I don't There's no such thing.
So good.
Yeah, I mean, it
Such a
basically
good
confirms like they have whatever immortality devices that they need.
That makes me kind of hope we see the young ninja that Elektra killed again.
Oh, Jacques.
Yes.
No, the young ninja, the one in Matt's apartment. Like, cause he got so much time. Like, it would be cool to like see him come back and be like, "Hey, it's me. I was 700 years old, and you thought I was like a kid, but I was actually 700 years old."
You know what freaks me out, guys? I watch scary things, right? I don't get scared very often at all. Those freaking little people that got the blood drained out of them, and they had that hospital scene. I was like, I need to pause this and turn on some lights because I'm not digging what I'm seeing right here.
That was super creepy when they get down there
in the cages.
Yeah. Yeah, or when they're in the... I'm talking about when they're standing in the hospital.
And so they're basically saying what they've established by the end of these episodes is that there are 8 unidentified toxic substances that, in theory, are being incubated in these kids.
Freaking creepy.
That then turn them into zombie children of the corn.
Children of the corn.
Yeah, they were talking about Children of the Corn.
I know, and it's just like, it's exactly what I thought of. It's just like, oh my god, I need to run away.
Yeah,
the guy ate his dad.
That was so weird. I was definitely not expecting that. I think it's kind of a slight introduction to magic.
We got a lot of supernatural.
So what I'm starting to get worried that I liked all of these pieces. What they're giving us here with the hand is awesome. It does, however, I'm starting to get a little worried about it with only 3 episodes left.
It's very
and
wide.
where it is. I don't know how they're going to wrap up the hand storyline and Fisk with the Punisher and Elektra. Well, Elektra is tied into the hand, so it's Elektra. So the way there's really 2 big plot lines here. There's Elektra on the hand and Stick, and there's Fisk and the Punisher, like on the loose, and
Matt and Foggy and
well, that's personal stuff that's like that can easily be interwoven with the bigger things. But you have 2 big story arcs that like don't seem at this point to be tied together in any way except through Daredevil. Yeah. And I really hope that they're not going to like string this into like try to pay it in, like lead it into Iron Fist or something, because I like, and I trust the writers more than this, because I think like any good like show is built like each season should more or less stand on its own. Yeah. And you can have loose threads and stuff that ties in, like Fisk coming back and like continuing his story is great, but season 1 stands on its own. And season 2 with the Punisher arc seems to be standing on its own in a great way. The hand ties through both, but if it continues on, they've built it so much in these episodes that it's not like a little thread where they're like hinting like Madame Gao runs away and like we don't know the whole story. Yeah. This is like major things.
We've seen the demons. Yeah. We've seen the magic. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I feel like when we did our season 2 predictions, like before the season came out, we were talking about how we basically predicted beat for beat this season, where it would start off Punisher versus Daredevil, and then be Daredevil versus the Hand, and Daredevil and Elektra. We didn't know if Elektra was with the Hand or with a Stick at that point.
And we didn't at the time. We couldn't have possibly guessed the whole thing with Fisk and the Punisher coming back in and this
we did guess about Fisk like manipulating the Punisher from prison.
I just mean like the way.
But regardless, like our last thing was that it's got to be Daredevil and the Punisher versus the Hand. Like I feel like that's where this is all going. The blacksmith thing really, like, unless the blacksmith is like Nobu, like that feels really like side. Like
it's a lot.
Like we don't need it. Like it seems like something extra. Like if it was something connected to the Hand, which it might be. Like, then that ties everything all together. But
it would have to be done. I mean, and the show these writers are capable of it. Yeah. It would have to be done perfectly. Like, no faults at all. No questions. No, like, it would have to, like, in the way they would have to build it in the next 3 episodes, like, or next 2 episodes, has to, like, lead us into that so smoothly in order for that to pay off and feel right.
I feel like it can go like one of two ways, like you were saying. Like, I feel like it could either go, oh, they're gonna build it into like Luke Cage, which is gonna bum me out, or they could wrap it all up together, and I'm gonna be like, how the hell did they do that? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so impressed.
Well, that's the other thing, is because there's no way that the hand ties into Luke Cage. It other than maybe tangentially.
Yeah.
This would be an Iron Fist storyline.
I'm sorry, Iron Fist.
But that's
That's what I
so
meant.
far out at this point. Like, Luke Cage is next.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I was thinking, I meant Iron Fist.
Which is,
sorry.
well, that's what makes it reasonable for you.
Yeah.
So you say that, but like Iron Fist is so far out at this point. It's another year.
Yeah.
It just that I don't want to
Wouldn't
wait
make
for.
sense.
I don't want to wait. I'm too impatient.
Yeah, I don't think they'll leave it like that.
No,
Yeah, I don't think so either. But so
Yeah.
I'm interested about. Okay, there's so much more to talk about.
So much.
Elektra fights possibly Frenchie
Yeah. Well,
from Moon Knight. Frenchie's,
Oh, yeah.
Frenchie's Moon Knight's pilot.
and
But,
it's Jacques, but he has a different last name.
yeah. But like basically the same character. Also, where that fight takes place, I don't know what level of wealth you have to have like a private bar in an airport hangar, but I want to reach that. 'Cause that was I was just like, why are you guys fighting? You're in an amazing location.
I feel like how everybody cleared out too. It was
Yeah,
like it
everyone
was
was
full,
like,
and it was like, fuck that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. F that. I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, they just left.
Jamie.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
How
Watch
dare
the
you.
language on
I'm
the
sorry,
show
I'm so sorry.
where people get shot into bloody violence right in front of us.
I'm sorry, but everybody seriously peaced out. I was watching to
Yeah.
see if I saw one person in the background. I'm like, there's nobody there.
Just one guy. hanging,
Nobody's
like,
gone.
Should we call the police? Should
They're
we call
gone.
the police? And also, like, I think this was a way for Stick to manipulate Elektra to
Yeah.
stay. Like the fact that Jacques had the size, which are Elektra's like go-to weapon, and like I think it was like
That's cool.
his way of keeping her there.
Do you think this is her, starting her infatuation with the size, or do you think so you're saying that this is like she was already a size specialist,
Yeah.
and this was Stick being like, here, try these.
Remember what you love.
I
Yeah.
think that the whole scene was meant just for that upwards shot at the end where she's holding him. I'm like, that's Elektra. I mean, I'm not really into, like, I don't read comic books, and I know that's Elektra. Like, I know who that is. Like, it was a really iconic, cool
Yeah.
shot.
It was, I mean,
really
like
cool.
we're getting like those pieces that we in these episodes we got Elektra with size and the Punisher with some version of the skull.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Like we don't yet have the Punisher with the full skull like outfit.
Yeah.
With the white gloves. I don't think we're getting.
Have you heard
But-
have you heard his explanation for why he has a big white skull on his chest?
in the books, no.
Yeah, it's because that's where the most of his armor is. Like, so if people are shooting back at him, the thing that they see and the thing that they aim at is where like the most dense armor is on his body.
That makes it
So,
cooler for me because I was
There's
like,
there's a very good logic to
So like
that.
it's a big white target for you to shoot at.
Got it,
and
got
like instead of like any of his like less armored pieces,
Yeah.
which is super cool.
guys, what about Claire? What about Foggy and Karen? Where are we going?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's jump back to the hospital with Claire, because I would love to just at some point, once we get like through the Defenders, it is going to be a fascinating thing for somebody to chop out Claire's story.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be like 3 hours of story at that
Yeah.
point. And just like string together Claire's just arc through all of this, because it's fascinating. Like
Freaking
she
love
went
Claire.
from just like falling into this world to then like getting roped into stuff with Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, and now she's just like, well, This is it, I guess.
Zombies and ninjas.
I feel like Claire is like me and you and you. You know what I mean? Like that's what we would be like if we were in the like MCU. But like she's like the fourth wall. The things that she says to Matt, I'm just like, that's what I'm thinking right now. She's like, hey, Saint Matthew, like relax, chill out. You know, like your friend's downstairs. Why don't you be a normal human? And like
just go say hi.
Exactly.
Like tell them you care about them.
I love
She's
her.
very much filling the role that, and we said this before, but like she's very much filling the role that Coulson filled in the movie universe, the movie side of the universe, because she is not only is she providing a thread of like the character that you can see in all these series, but she provides a voice, like just like Clark Gregg did. Like she provides a voice of just like occasionally calling people out on their crap, like, and just being like, she's sort of outside of the story enough to be like, what is happening here?
100%.
Like, there's like, this is out of a science fiction novel.
She was like nope. She saw those people. Nope. Turns around and runs. She's like, I'm not even going to. Not doing it. Not today.
And like, oh, that leads to that insanity.
Foggy.
At the end of 10, where like, well, Foggy. We'll loop back to Foggy in a minute, but like, just that. Just going back around to like there's just ninjas climbing the side of a building, you guys.
Yeah. And I mean, doing the most ninja thing they can do.
Yeah.
Which is silently climb a building.
Because, like, the kids are on the, like, they need, like, they don't want people to know about whatever they're doing with these kids' blood.
Yeah.
Especially now that they're up and about. Like, now their plans are coming out into the world.
Do we think
super sketch?
Do we think that the kids are giving blood to the big thing, or that the big thing is giving blood to the kids?
I think the big thing lives off blood, but I don't know much.
So you say like big thing, and where all the blood is going to?
Like the little tomb thing,
Instead
right?
of, like, we assumed that they were giving blood to that thing.
Well, Claire said that they were low on
like
blood.
dehydrated.
Yeah, they had blood being drained.
Maybe it's a
from them.
dialysis machine. Maybe it's an old dialysis machine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Because what they're building there is something absolutely just like I don't know where they're going.
They gotta tell us.
Like. So my thoughts on the hole at this point, like what's in the hole? It's a question we keep asking ourselves.
What's in the goddamn hole?
Like there could be a creature, like you threw out Fin Fang Foom, which is just an insane thing. And I'm not saying that's what's down there.
There's no way they have the budget for a Fin Fang Foom.
Yeah, but like it could be a creature.
It's a giant Chinese dragon.
Okay, got it.
My other thought was that it is a portal.
Okay.
Like this is the kid digging to China.
Literally.
To the extreme.
Okay.
And that like basically at the bottom there is maybe it is a portal to Kunlun.
Yeah, or the eighth gate.
Can you explain that?
The eighth gate is basically where all of like the mystical heroes of ancient Asia sent their worst people, and only the 7 immortal weapons could open the door.
So complex. Yep. I love this.
That's the kind. But see, that's exactly the kind of thing like I could see being. And we talked about Hell being right under Harold's kitchen.
Yeah,
that's exactly what you're dealing with at that point.
It could be that. That would be amazing.
Nobu comes out. Why do you think they call it Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah, exactly.
Credits.
And I mean, especially like that would be a great way to tease the Iron Fist thing, but not actually like make it be like, you gotta watch Iron Fist now. Like it's just a way to like tease it a little bit.
Yeah, so the hole may be the thing that sort of leads us through.
Yeah.
Into the next one. Like that's a mystery that I could deal with not getting answered as long as whatever Nobu is doing with the kid. I want an answer obviously eventually, but like I could handle not knowing that here.
Sure.
As long as I get at least an explanation and a more or less story wrap up from the zombie children and Nobu.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much going on there.
Like
what's in the creepy coffin thing? I want to know that.
So we've said it before, and when we did the trailer breakdown, but symbol on the coffin stands for rebirth.
Yeah, it's the Japanese symbol for rebirth.
Oh, the rebirth in something evil.
So like
Nobu was my first. Like I feel like he came out of there.
yeah, I'm
Got
assuming that maybe that thing is like whatever they found out, the key to immortality and becoming zombie ninjas. Like that thing is the thing that is the key, where it's you need the blood of 8 children. There are 8 children, and there's 8 gates.
Were there 8 children? There were 5. We saw 5.
Was it 5? Never mind. I just made up 8. Never mind. I saw a connection that didn't exist.
It doesn't mean there aren't more.
Yeah. But like you need that blood to resurrect someone. It could be like a creepy. I mean, we could get a Frankencastle situation, which was in the Marvel world. Frank Castle died and then came back and just started adding pieces to his body and becoming just this monster.
No.
And it was called Frankencastle.
I love
I
the
hate
name
that.
Frankencastle. It's
Yeah.
just so dumb and perfect.
Yeah, it's like he just like attaches grenade launchers to his arms.
All right, so we got to get back to Matt
Matt,
before we
man.
run out of time.
Matt's theme song for these 2 episodes is All By Myself.
He's like
He's not only like he's throwing off his friends, like basically say, like Foggy gets shot,
Yeah.
and that Matt's just like, I gotta go out there, and he says it to Claire. It's just like, is he doesn't know where the line is. Like, is he putting his friends in danger by being friends with them, or is he like doing wrong? But like, which way is the right way to go?
I'm getting kind of sick of this fight. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, this was one thing from these 2 episodes that I was like, could have done without that. I feel like it's a repeat of season 1. I feel like they've had this fight before, and yes, this one there was like things that were said, and like it could be irreparable. You know what I mean?
They're talking about shuttering Nelson
Yeah,
Murdoch.
totally,
They effectively
but,
do in these episodes.
Like, in my head, like, take a poop or get off the pot. Like, if you're going
It
to,
sounds so sweet when you say it.
I know, it was the most innocent way you could have said
Stop.
that.
You're
But if
talking
you're-
to a toddler.
If you're not gonna be shut up. If you're not gonna be friends anymore, then like don't be friends anymore. But if you're gonna eventually get back together, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
Like, they're the couple that keeps breaking up and getting back together and breaking up and freaking break
talking
up
about
or
Foggy
get
and-
back
Foggy
together.
and Matt.
Yes,
Yeah.
Foggy and Matt. Like, I love them together. You know, Foggy has my heart more than anybody else in the show. But like, I don't know. Matt.
I am ready for them to settle this,
Yeah.
like one way or another, and like because we sort of know more or less that Foggy's coming back to Matt's side.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's slowly making his way.
I mean, I feel like we could end the show with like Foggy and Matt not being together.
You shut your dirty mouth.
You mean this season?
Yeah, and this season. Like I feel like we could. Like,
I'm sort of getting
because from a story standpoint, like I feel like that makes the most sense.
To end a season 2, assuming you're going to get a season 3.
Yeah, if you're getting a 3, like if it's a movie, then you would end the season. You would end the second in the trilogy with kind of the relationship separate.
This, to me, if I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save
Empire
that thought
Strikes Back.
for. I'm gonna save the thought I just had for predictions. So I'll get to that.
The best sequel ever,
Which?
Empire Strikes Back.
Oh yeah.
You end it with everyone kind of apart.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
because it makes season 3 about everyone coming back together,
Yes.
or the
True.
third movie about everyone coming back together. It's a very good point, and it doesn't. We don't have a lot of time for them to like make up.
Yeah.
Jamie's so not happy.
I'm not happy with Matt's character. I think out of everybody, he's the one I'm the least happy with because he's like so confused. Like, usually, well, he's not confused. He knows who he is, right? So like Daredevil knows this is who I want to be. Like, I'm a good person. I don't kill people. Like, I'm a Catholic. I have strong conviction. Like, all these different things. But I feel like in these past 2 episodes, like, he's getting a little twisted. Like, he's like, I can't have friends. I can't have loved ones. I need to just focus.
He makes a distinction.
He does,
that
but-
like as opposed to having 2 parts of his life, he's like, Daredevil is who I am.
Yeah, but then stop sitting outside of the hospital trying to save your friend. I mean, like, I understand why he's doing it, but like, obviously he still has people that he loves, and like, he.
I don't think he's even there for Foggy. I think he's just there for the kids.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like,
You think if someone was attacking Foggy, he wouldn't save him?
I think for the first time, Matt is dealing with something that is legitimately dangerous and has repercussions. Like, since, like, even with Kingpin, it was like, or with Fisk, it was like he didn't really know about Foggy, or like, as far as Daredevil, like, didn't know Foggy and Karen existed and like that kind of thing. And it feels like the Hand just have infiltrated every part of Matt's life and are dangerous.
Yeah, I feel like they're also making him question stuff. Like, he keeps going back and he's like, well, I keep doing all these things and they keep getting undone. So for like the first time in his life, he's like, in my head, what I'm thinking is he's like, is Stick and Elektra's way better?
I mean,
you know?
The thing is, like, I would hate for Daredevil to kill gangsters, but like
to kill ninjas would be sick.
The Hand are soldiers. They're not criminals. They're soldiers in a war, and like, I feel like that's more acceptable.
Agreed.
Like, and also they're undead zombie ninja soldiers.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Like, you gotta find.
It's not fair here.
Yeah, the rules can be bent.
They're gonna come back to life anyways, so it's not really like you're even killing them.
Exactly. You're just giving them traffic problems.
You're temporarily stopping their lives.
Yeah.
The thing that he does when he really goes off the deep end is he goes to see Wilson Fisk in prison.
God, that scene was so good.
It was so good.
Just everything about that scene it came together. The writing, the acting, like the music, like it all built to this awesome place of just like, and the reversal.
Yeah.
Like when Matt brings up Vanessa and no Fisk.
Yeah.
Fisk just is like, Fisk says no and just smashes him into the table with guards everywhere.
Yeah.
Matt, like the big thing was, I think Matt just did not expect Fisk to have gained that strong of a handle.
And he's a blind, like, for all Fisk knows, he's a blind lawyer.
Yeah.
He beat the shit out of a blind lawyer in front of a million people. You know what I mean? Like, that's
we saw a moment where Matt was going to, like, fight back, and then realized that he has to keep himself Daredevil and Matt separate.
He went into Daredevil voice for a moment there.
So he I think Matt kind of let Fisk beat the crap out of him.
I think Fisk knows too that one punch, because when he was drinking his wine and he was like, felt his lip and he was like, give me all my files, I'm Matt Murdock. I think he's like, no way that dude's just a blind lawyer. Like, there's no way. He punched me really hard. That hurt. Not a lot of things hurt my face, and that did.
But that scene was amazing. I watched that scene like 3 or 4 times.
It was really good.
Like, it was so good. It was like watching a play.
Yeah.
It was like Kramer versus Kramer. Like, it was like such a explosive moment with so much tension. It was amazing. Again, like, such an amazing moment in these 2 episodes.
He tries to fight Fisk as Matt Murdock. I will use every legal loophole.
Yeah.
And like, but he
didn't work.
It just did not.
Do you think that's why too? Like, at the very end of all this, he's like, "All right, I'm just one person now. Now I'm just Daredevil," because that didn't work. You know what I mean?
That might be it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. I'm really looking forward to how that continues to play out. The last thing that I want to make sure we get to, and then we'll do a quick round of predictions, is just Karen, and like we touched on her a little bit, but her backstory.
Yeah.
We get like the first hint of like what happened in her backstory and like Ben Urich did like his homework on her.
100%.
And so basically all we get is her dad's name is Kevin. And
K-Dog.
There was a car accident, right?
And it was a car accident where a 16-year-old boy was killed. And I tried to freeze frame and like read the article. I can only get like pieces of it because they rack focus really quick.
Yeah.
But so mystery accident causes teen fatality. 16-year-old boy killed. And it sounds like, from the words I could pick out, that she was in the car and was somehow responsible for her dad losing control and killing this kid.
Like Jay Jones.
Very similar, it sounded like, or whether or not it was intentional, it sounded very much like Jessica Jones' story. And again, I could be wrong on that. It was like what I could pick out from blurry.
I mean, I just like. I like it. I like that Ellis read it as well because it just fits his character so well. I'm really liking this kind of avuncular character that Ellis is taking with Karen.
Totally.
Like I think it's really like he was like he was kind of important last season, but like we didn't need him to come back.
Yeah.
And now seeing him back, it's like I'm happy to see him like kind of
it works.
give
I like how
Karen direction.
Yeah.
I like how he's driving her story forward, and like it's like keeping her involved, keeping the newspaper involved.
Yep.
That which is such a key part of the Marvel universe.
Totally.
Is the newspapers and journalism, and so to see that driving the other parts of the story, especially Frank's story, forward is awesome.
Yeah, he makes me like Karen more. He makes Karen have more depth to me. You know what I mean? Because like without him there and like in her pushing, like she has nobody to push if he's not there. And like by her pushing him, I'm like, oh, okay, Karen.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that continues to build out. Real quick, Easter egg check. And this will lead us into predictions. I like that they made sure that Cell Block D is the one with the Daredevil story. It was Devil and Cell Block D. Yeah. Just a specific run of Daredevil.
Brubaker?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some predictions, you guys.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna throw out my. Wait, let me gather my words, guys. What do you think?
I'm just gonna predict. I'm gonna predict that I don't know, the blacksmith. I've got to. The blacksmith's got to be someone we've already seen. I'm gonna say. I'll predict it's the guy. I'm gonna throw it out there. The guy in the parking lot whose son was taken by the. Just because we've seen him before, or maybe like the guy who broke the code for Matt and Elektra, like just one of those guys. Just because
random henchman 1 and 2.
Yeah, just because like it's so like story wise, if it's a new person, then it just doesn't like to me that's sloppy. Like if it's someone we haven't seen already.
It's what's his name? The Karen shot.
Oh, Wesley. Wesley's been resurrected by the hand.
Yeah, and he's the blacksmith.
I know, I did like Wesley.
Yeah.
Jamie, what do you think?
I don't have a lot of crazy predictions. I think that like Foggy and Matt will get back together. I think that, you know what I mean, like all the things that I want to happen. Like I think him and Karen will probably get back together. Him and Foggy will be back together. By the end of it, he'll come to some conclusion that friends over DD all day. You know, like I'm just going the really predictable route.
I think that what we're gonna get in this story, like we're gonna see by the end of the season, is a big fall from Daredevil. From Daredevil, like Daredevil is going to need to save the day, and he's going to fall hard while saving the day, while getting rid of Fisk and Punisher and creating a hole that will lead us eventually into a Defenders story that basically sets up Matt. This is a wild prediction.
Yeah.
Like, so insane, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be like, what the hell was I thinking? That basically sets up Matt Murdock, Daredevil, as a relatable, understandable villain for the Defenders in a King of Hell's Kitchen storyline.
Oh, like you think he's going to be the bad guy?
Where Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist are basically working together to try to, like, get Matt Murdock under control.
Well,
because I don't think we're going to get a season 3 before
I can
Defenders.
see him taking like a crazy dark turn. 100%.
In the comics, Daredevil becomes the leader of the Hand.
Oh my god. Took a left turn, didn't use our signal there, Daredevil. I never saw that one coming.
But if Blacksmith is Bullseye, then we could see Elektra death.
Oh. Already,
and that could be
We're
his
season
big
2.
fall.
No way.
Or we don't know if she's already died. Like we don't know where.
Yeah, we don't know her story. There's so many possibilities.
If the Blacksmith is Bullseye, I'm gonna say Blacksmith is Bullseye, and he kills Elektra.
I'm gonna agree with both of you because I have no freaking clue.
Great.
None of us have any clue. We are only left to guess as I leave here and stay up half the night to watch episodes 11 and 12. No, I am so exhausted.
No, it sounds so good right now.
I just spent all of my energy on this podcast. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to everyone in the chat room who joined us live for this. There's like 45 people watching live in the middle of the night. You don't know how much I love you guys for that.
You guys are the best.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter. You can follow all of AfterBuzz's Marvel coverage on Twitter at ABTV Marvel. Where you can, that's how you can follow along with our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast, our Daredevil podcast, and whatever other ones may be coming in the future. I know you mostly want some stuff. Sorry, that was a stretch. But so, until next week, I've been your host, Zach Wilson. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube as well. Go to hit the subscribe button on my YouTube page. I'd really appreciate it. My goal for 2016, 1,000 subscribers. That's Zach Wilson. ThatZachWilson. Jamie Elias.
Hey guys, you can find me on the Twitter and the Instagram at Jamie, JamieSelias, Jess.
Hi everyone, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Jess Klein1, that's JessKlein, the number 1.
All right, we'll be back next Wednesday at 11 p.m.
Bye everyone.
We have been the Daredevil After Show, and thanks for geeking out with us.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.